Boston Celtics are entering a brand new era, and the signs have been flashing in neon ever since billionaire Bill Chisholm dropped nearly $7 billion to take over the franchise. And let's be real here, was anybody truly surprised that White Grouseback wouldn't be sticking around for 3 more years like the original announcement suggested? Come on! You don't drop that kind of money on a team and then play the backseat driver role. That's not how billionaires operate. And definitely not how someone like Chisholm planned to run things. This is a full-on changing of the guard, and if you were paying attention to how things unfolded with Mark Cuban in Dallas, this script was already written. Just like Cuban, White was initially positioned as the bridge, someone to stick around and smooth the transition, keep the ship steady, maybe even mentor the new owner on how to handle front office decisions and roster construction. But like Cuban, Weiss got Cubaned. Gone. Quietly ushered out. No press conferences, no teary farewells, just a few headlines and a whole lot of, yeah, that makes sense. Because it does. When you spend billions on a franchise like the Celtics, one of the most storied, iconic teams in sports history, you don't do it so someone else can call the shots. You do it because you want the reins. And now Chisholm has them. And what's the first thing you do when you take over a team with a payroll? Spiraling toward $500 million. You hit reset. And that's exactly what's happening. Salary shedding left and right. The Celtics, who were well above the second apron just a season ago, are now flirting with dropping below the first. They've cut their total spend dramatically. It's clear as day. Why Grouseback's vision is out, and Chisholm's strategy is taking shape fast. And whether you like it or not, that includes some major cost cutting and likely a short-term step back from contention. Now the Tatum injury. Man, it's brutal. An Achilles tear to your franchise cornerstone, your MVP level forward. It's a nightmare scenario. But if you're Bill Chisholm and you just inherited this massive financial commitment and a roster that needs reshaping, it might actually be the worst thing that could have happened. Because it gives you cover. It buys you time. You get a 1-year grace period, a gap year. You get to say, hey, with Tatum out, this isn't our year anyway. Let's recalibrate. Let's trim the fat. Let's regroup. And when Tatum's back, now you've got flexibility. You've got options. You've got the ability to be aggressive in the 2026-2027 offseason when things actually matter. That's the plan, or at least it looks like it from here. And it raises some big-time questions. What's this new front office really about? Are they going to build a sustainable winner, or is this heading towards something closer to a Maverick-style meltdown? Because let's not forget, Dallas traded Luka Doncic. Luka, one of the best players on the planet. That happened. If you think stuff like that can't go down in Boston, think again. The NBA is wild like that. All it takes is a couple of bad years. A superstar who starts questioning the direction of the franchise, and suddenly you're not just rebuilding, you're restarting from scratch. But for now, let's stay grounded. The Celtics aren't in free fall. They're in transition. The fan base might not love it, especially after just winning a title in 2024. That team was electric. Adding Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday to the mix gave them new life. They finally broke through. It wasn't always pretty, but they got it done. They were clutch, they were deep, they played faster, they played smarter. That team looked like it had put the past behind them. The blown leads, the predictable crunch time offense, the sidestep threes that clanged off the rim. But that was then. And now it's uncertain. Tatum is out. The roster is leaner. And people are already asking questions about the heart of this team, specifically about Jason Tatum himself. The conversation around his clutch gene has resurfaced, and not in a flattering way. Some fans are flat out done with him in crunch time. They point to the missed shots, the lack of aggression, the bad decisions late in games. They remember the blown leads against the Knicks in the playoffs. They remember him dribbling the clock out and launching contested threes with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And yeah, it's frustrating, it's maddening, but let's not act like Tatum hasn't shown up when it mattered. People seem to forget that Game 7 masterpiece against the Sixers. 50 points. 50. In a closeout game. Or how about the duel with Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee a few years back? He dropped 40 plus in that one and went toe-to-toe with the best player in the league. Those aren't small moments. Those aren't empty stats. That's clutch. That's stepping up on the biggest stage when everything's on the line. So yeah, his shot selection can be suspect. Yeah, the sidestep threes need to go. But let's not pretend this guy disappears when it counts. The problem is, clutch isn't just about numbers. It's about perception. It's about what sticks in people's minds. And when you lose 2 double-digit leads at home in the playoffs, that's what people remember. Not the 50-point games, not the gritty comebacks. The bad sticks harder, and that's where Tatum is stuck right now. He's fighting against the narrative. And with him sidelined for the season, he won't get a chance to change it for a while. That means the Celtics as a team are going to have to reshape their identity without him. And that's where things get tricky, because now you're relying on guys who haven't had the spotlight before. Now it's about development. It's about young players. It's about whether someone like Baylor Scheinman or Hugo Gonzalez can step into a real role. It's about seeing what Jordan Walsh has, or whether Amari Williams and Max Lewis can contribute in any meaningful way. These are the questions Joe Mazzulla is going to have to answer, and fast. Because while this season might be a free pass, in some ways, it's also going to be a defining moment for the coaching staff. Speaking of Mazzulla, let's talk about the coaching chatter. A lot of Celtics fans were not happy with the news of his extension. And look, it's not hard to see why. The offense gets stagnant, late game decision making gets dicey, and an endless three-point chucking when the game is on the line. Yeah, that drives people insane. But let's pump the brakes a bit. Who exactly is the coach out there that would be better? Who are you replacing him with? Because most of the big names are locked into jobs. Rick Carlisle, he's not leaving Indiana. Eric Spoelstra, untouchable. Mike Malone, not coming to Boston. Tom Thibodeau, hard pass. There's no obvious answer. And for all the flaws Mazzulla has, let's not ignore what he's done. He managed. Egos. He implemented a style of play that led them to a championship. And now he's being asked to pivot, to take a young, inexperienced group and turn them into something competitive. That's a completely different coaching job. That's not drawing up plays for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's developmental basketball. That's getting the most out of players nobody else believed in. That's turning bench guys into contributors, two-way players into rotation pieces. This is where we find out what Joe Mazzulla is made of. And this is where we find out what kind of team the Celtics want to be in this new era. Are they going to invest in the youth movement and build from within? Or are they going to flip assets and try to retool on the fly around Tatum and Brown once Tatum returns? There's a massive fork in the road coming, and how they navigate this season will tell us everything we need to know. And yeah, the trade rumors are already flying. Sam Hauser for Gabe Vincent, no thanks. Hard pass. That's a trade that screams Lakers win, Celtics lose. Gabe Vincent was a product of the Heat system, and once he left, he's been irrelevant. Average numbers, average impact, and zero upside. Meanwhile, Hauser is a career 40+% shooter from 3. He's not a defensive liability like people assume, and in today's NBA, elite shooting is a premium. If the Celtics are going to move him, wait until the trade deadline. Let a desperate playoff team overpay when they think one more shooter gets them over the top. Don't hand over a valuable piece for a guy who can't crack the Lakers' rotation. There's more to unpack, but for now, the Celtics are clearly in a state of transformation. Ownership is new, the payroll is shifting, the coach is under scrutiny, and the franchise player is out for the year. This is not the same team that raised the trophy in 2024. This is a new chapter, and the first few pages are already filled with bold decisions, surprising exits, and questions that won't be answered until next summer. And with all this change swirling around the Celtics, there's still this strange sense of uncertainty. Like everyone is trying to pretend they know where this is going, but no one really does. The fans are trying to get a feel for who this team is now, but the ground underneath is shifting too fast. One day it's rumors about trades to duck the first apron. The next, it's endless debate over whether Joe Mazzulla is the right coach to carry this young squad into whatever version of the future they're building. And then in the background always is the shadow of what came before, the team that just won it all, the team that finally put it all together, the team with championship DNA. That version of the Celtics is gone for now and maybe for a while. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Rumors are swirling around the NBA as the Boston Celtics appear to be gearing up for significant moves in the player market to maintain their competitive edge. Sources close to the organization suggest the Celtics are actively exploring various trade options and free agent signings as part of a broader strategy to bolster their roster depth and versatility. While the team has consistently been a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference, whispers indicate management is not content with merely maintaining the status quo. The potential arrival of a marquee player or a high-impact role player could drastically reshape the Celtics' dynamic heading into the next season. Fans and analysts alike are buzzing about the Celtics' intentions to ensure they remain serious contenders against dominant teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and Philadelphia 76ers. Speculation intensifies as the Celtics are said to be targeting players who can complement their core stars with a focus on improving their defensive toughness and three-point shooting, areas critics often highlight as vulnerabilities. This flurry of activity in the Celtics front office reflects a broader trend in the league, where top teams continuously seek ways to adapt and evolve their rosters amid an increasingly competitive landscape. As the trade deadline approaches, all eyes will remain on Boston to see whether these murmurs translate into bold moves or cautious maneuvers aimed at preserving chemistry and stability. Adding fuel to the speculative fire is the recent announcement of NIKOLA JOKIĆ, the two-time MVP center from the Denver Nuggets, as a free agent this offseason. Although no official confirmation of negotiations between JOKIĆ and the Celtics has been made, insiders hint at the possibility that Boston could be among the interested parties in acquiring the Serbian superstar. JOKIC's unique skill set as a versatile big man who can score, facilitate, and rebound at an elite level has transformed the way centers are valued in modern basketball. His ability to control the game from the post and his remarkable passing vision make him a rare commodity that any team would covet. Should the Celtics seriously pursue JOKIC, it would signify a bold attempt to elevate their frontline presence and create a formidable inside-outside game. Speculators argue that pairing JOKIC with Boston's existing perimeter talent could result in one of the most potent and balanced lineups in the league. Yet obstacles remain, including salary cap considerations, potential player departures, and the risk of disrupting team chemistry. The mere mention of Jokic's name in connection with Boston has already sent waves through the NBA community, stirring debate about what a Jokic-led Celtics team could achieve. Meanwhile, industry insiders point to a cautious approach by the Celtics management, balancing ambition with pragmatism amid the noise of potential blockbuster deals. While some fans clamor for a headline-grabbing acquisition like Jokic, others remind that the Celtics' current roster features emerging stars and proven veterans who have developed strong cohesion and identity. Reports suggest that the front office is weighing the merits of either making a high-profile signing or focusing on strategic depth additions that improve the team's overall resilience. The Celtics have historically excelled when combining strong coaching, disciplined defense, and efficient scoring, and preserving these elements could be key to their future success. Speculation also includes the possibility of salary dumps or multi-team trades that could provide flexibility while bringing in complementary pieces without sacrificing long-term assets. This delicate balancing act reflects the complexities of modern NBA roster construction, where maintaining flexibility is as crucial as immediate talent upgrades. Analysts suggest that the Celtics' decisions in the coming weeks will be pivotal in defining their trajectory for the upcoming seasons, especially as other franchises also maneuver aggressively in the market. Thus, Boston's approach may set the tone for a new chapter in the Eastern Conference's power hierarchy. Compounding the intrigue are whispers about potential shifts in the coaching staff or strategic philosophies accompanying any roster changes. The Celtics may pursue. The franchise's coaching team has been lauded for adapting to the evolving style of play in the NBA, emphasizing pace, spacing, and defensive versatility. However, rumors hint that the arrival of a player like JOKIĆ or other significant acquisitions could necessitate tweaks in offensive schemes or defensive assignments to maximize talent utilization. Some insiders speculate that such a shift could either strengthen Boston's strategic advantages or introduce growing pains as the team adjusts to new dynamics. This uncertainty feeds into the broader conversation about how well the Celtics can integrate new talent without sacrificing the intangible chemistry and identity they have painstakingly built. Moreover, coaching stability might be tested as management evaluates the best path to winning a championship in a league where adaptability is paramount. Fans and pundits remain divided over whether Boston should double down on their current blueprint or embrace a more revolutionary transformation, fueled by new personnel. Regardless of the outcome, these murmurs indicate the Celtics are not resting on their laurels and are intent on exploring all avenues to enhance their chances of securing an NBA title in the near future. The buzz surrounding the Celtics offseason, moves, and the possible pursuit of NIKOLA JOKIĆ has ignited a frenzy of speculation across social media, sports talk shows, and analyst circles. Basketball enthusiasts are dissecting every nugget of information, from rumored trade packages to contract negotiations, trying to piece together what could be one of the most consequential off-seasons in recent memory for Boston. The excitement and uncertainty are palpable, with fans eagerly awaiting any confirmation or denial from team officials. The Celtics' reputation as a storied franchise with a winning tradition adds weight to these rumors, as any significant addition would not only impact the team's immediate prospects, but also the historical legacy. The potential ripple effects extend beyond Boston, influencing the balance of power in the Eastern Conference and possibly the entire NBA landscape. Should the Celtics secure JOKIĆ or another marquee player, the dynamics of rivalries, playoff matchups, and even the MVP race could be reshaped dramatically. Conversely, if Boston opts for a quieter path, focusing on internal growth and incremental improvements, the narrative will shift towards patience and long-term vision. Either way, the current speculation embodies the thrilling unpredictability of professional sports, where every rumor carries the promise of transformation and renewed hope for greatness. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.